Welcome back. Hunter Biden's lawyers rejecting the House Oversight Committee's request for any records related to foreign business deals made by Hunter Biden and the president's brother, James Biden. Hunter's attorney writing, quote, peddling your own inaccurate and baseless conclusions under the guise of a real investigation turns the committee into Wonderland and you into the Queen of Hearts, shouting sentence first, verdict afterwards. Here to respond to that, Texas Congressman and member of the House Oversight, Government Reform and Armed Services Committees, Pat Fallon. Congressman, good morning to you and great to see you this morning. I just want to get your response right off the bat to that comment.
If you have nothing to hide, then we should welcome scrutiny and cooperate with this committee. And they're not. That is typical lawyer gobbledygook. Blah, 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 is what that really was. It was nothing. It was word vomit. How about releasing and helping us get the 150 suspicious activity reports that have been generated because of the Biden family's financial dealings and activity? But they're fighting us tooth and nail, Jackie.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, where this goes from here, because they will continue to fight. But the House, of course, needs to continue to push on this because Americans want answers. The Hunter Biden laptop story, which, by the way, as we know, was suppressed, is real, right? And it's out here now. And for the first time, Elon Musk exposing some of that suppression and giving us the Twitter files. And we've found out what was on that laptop. Americans have legitimate concerns to know if this president has been compromised by business dealings overseas. We need to get to the bottom of this. So what's the plan to do it?
No, you're absolutely right, because the president of the United States may have been involved in serious influence peddling, making millions, and he may be compromised in a national security threat. This is like, a bad sci-fi movie, quite frankly, moving forward, Jackie. So what we need to do, there's a fellow named Eric Schwerin, who he's kind of a link between Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and their business dealings. We need to get him under oath. We need to subpoena the 150 suspicious activity reports, which, again, that can't be understated. If you have a couple in your life, that would be odd, but 150 is alarming. And if somebody was accusing me of what a lot of folks suspect of the Biden family and Joe Biden in particular, I would release, if I had nothing to hide and didn't do anything wrong,
right,
I would be eager for you to clear my name.
Absolutely.
They're not.
If you have nothing to hide, you hand it over. Doug, your thoughts?
Hey, Congressman, good morning. It's Doug Collins. One of the things that is interesting to me is watching this for the play out over the last few years is the Department of Justice and how they're handling this. Department of Justice, again, when we were having the investigations that we were trying, were only seemingly going after, President Trump, and now it's seeming to switch. How is it affecting the committee's investigative process when DOJ, with the special prosecutor, is now sort of claiming this is an ongoing investigation, we're not going to cooperate? How are you and the committee handling that right now?
Well, that's exactly what they're doing, and they're obfuscating, and they're just creating really, Doug, as you know, fog. And so what we need to do, we didn't have subpoena power, a month ago. We do now, and we need to use that. And that's why when we subpoenaed the Twitter executives and had them in front of the committee this week, it was great to get them on the record, get them under oath. Because, if they're not telling us the truth then they're perjuring themselves. And if we didn't have Elon Musk spend $44 billion, we would have never known that our worst fears were realized.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Congressman. The Select Committee investigating the Biden administration's weaponization of government holding its first hearing yesterday, as you mentioned. Here's what a former FBI agent had to say about working under this White House. Listen.
It was physically taxing and emotionally jarring. But I believed I was making an impactful difference until things changed. The FBI's trajectory has transformed. On Bureau, the Bureau's mission had remained the same, but its priorities and governing principles shifted dramatically. The FBI became politically weaponized, starting from the top in Washington and trickling down to the field offices.
It's pretty powerful testimony. Congressman, your thoughts on that?
Well, if we get an FBI that's politically weaponized, we're not a republic anymore. We're a banana republic, and the dangers here cannot be understated. This is a gross violation of federal law and the Hatch Act. If what this young lady is saying is true, and we've seen it play out, and that's why the FBI, of course, deny. But we've got to press them for answers.
We do. I want to switch gears for a moment because the Biden administration issuing a $2 billion loan to battery manufacturing facility Redwood Materials. This coming after President Biden went off script during the State of the Union address, saying that the U.S. is going to need oil for another 10 years. It was laughable. I mean, the whole room kind of lit up on that, and he realized it. Congressman, your thoughts on how the president is proceeding with his energy policy? You've got oil prices on the rise again, with Russia cutting production by 5% as well. We're headed for that trajectory of oil to get back to $100 a barrel, and that hurts the American people. It's a tax on the American people.
Yeah. Well, Jackie, apparently we're all going to fly around on unicorns, and then we're going to go, we'll travel with mermaids. This guy, that was unbelievable what he said. And that's just, slop to the hard left. That fossil fuels are evil. Fossil fuels are going away in very short order, mind you. Never mind the millions of cars that are on the road. And there's no technology out there right now that can replace them. Electric, is one option, but it's not the only option at all. The wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine. So renewables can only account for a tiny fraction until there are some new technologies. And I'm sure someday there will be. Yeah. But that could be 50 or 100 or 200 years off in the future. Right. We just don't know. So to say 10 years and you're the president, you're not some fifth grader, and that's an insult to fifth graders. Yeah,
you're not going to flip a switch and in 10 years we're going to go all electric, all solar and wind power. It's just not possible. In the meantime, the country's suffering as a result. I do want to get your take on this, too. A new report revealing President Biden negotiating an immigration plan with Mexico, which would allow the United States to fast-track the deportation of migrants from places like Venezuela, Haiti, Nicaragua, Cuba, take them to Mexico. The deal hinges on the White House opening a legal pathway for hundreds of thousands of migrants to enter the United States. President Biden was pressed on if the lifting of Title 42 would lead to mass deportations. Watch this.
I'm saying we have not done that.
But would you consider it in the future once Title 42 is lifted?
I don't think we have to do that.
Congressman, your thoughts on the immigration mess that this administration has created?
Well, being from Texas, it's not a crisis anymore, Jackie, and it's really honestly beyond a catastrophe. We're nearing a collapse. We never had 1 month in our history of over 200,000 illegal border crossings. We've had the last 10 months in a row are over 200,000. We've had 5 million people cross the border. We don't know who they are under the Joe Biden administration. We've had 100 people that were on over 100 people that were on the terrorist watch list. 160 countries have been represented by people that have crossed the border illegally. And fentanyl is poisoning and killing. Last year, 80,000 Americans. This is asymmetrical warfare. The border is wide open. The drug cartels control it. And Joe Biden, it's been a gross dereliction of duty because he doesn't want to enforce the laws that are already on the books.
Yeah, we've talked to parents who've lost their children to fentanyl, saying what he said in the State of the Union, not enough, not convincing, that he's going to do something about this. Congressman Pat Fallon, thank you so much. Great to see you this morning.
Thanks, Jackie.
All right.
Take care. God bless.